another dimension, because today everybody is on a different tone altogether, but I thought like I'll put my perspective in a different way.
Yep.
Over the last 1 decade or so, if you really look at from the global perspective, not only from the Indian perspective, there has been an attempt to build a narrative of Islamophobia which has failed all across the world. It is not only in India, across the world. Hate speech is also a new trick in a way to sell this old wine of Islamophobia in a new bottle. So this is my personal view. Now getting into the court's view of today, what happened? Hate speech is not defined by the Indian Parliament yet. Of course, you can call it like an inflammatory speech, you can call whatever way you wanted to. So far, there is no law which defines hate speech, which is enacted by the Parliament, wherein in our country, in a democracy, it is done by the Parliament. So as long as that is not done, my opinion, the court, even the Supreme Court, is getting into an uncharted waters, which is maybe, for an example, Sanket tomorrow gets up and say that the religious prayer of some groups is a hate speech because it says that they only are advocating only one God, their God is the only true God, and whereas I am a believer, Sanket believes only in one God, I believe in Hanuman,
I believe in Mr. Nambiar, this is slightly hypothetical, no?
No, it is not.
What you are arguing, you are saying for this reason there should not be any sakti, there should not be any action, nothing should happen, because possibly in some state it may be misused.
Can I ask you something? I am not talking, in your shows in multiple times I said that whether it is, you call it like hate speech, I don't call it like all these talks, maybe some of them may be hate speech, truly hate speech, some of them would be remarks which may have been interpreted by the different people as a hate speech. Some people, for an example, I don't know, I am not a spokesperson for Pravesh Verma in anyhow, but he is clarified that I have never uttered the word Islam or a Muslim, or I have never said that. I have never used that word. So will it fall under the hate speech or not?
Well, I don't know. I mean, then this is such a loophole which the politician has discovered.
One second. Then the same way you said that Sudarshan TV News chief editor Suresh Chavan he is a hate anchor. That's the dot you place.
Of course he is. Do you have a doubt?
No. Can I? Now he says, and in the Delhi police also has very clearly said that he has narrated this old pledge which was done by Shivaji Maharaj maybe in 1500 or whatever years back. So if that is the case, Rajendra Gautam, which was the cabinet minister who has been gone, but whereas he when enacted or recreated what in 1956 or so the great Ambedkar ji, so that is not hate speech. We don't want it to celebrate that, whereas if the Shivaji Maharaj pledge, Suresh Chavan ke pledge, we call him as a hate anchor. Why don't we say that Rajendra Pal Gautam or the former minister is also a hate minister? So we have a problem. I believe that the court needs to work on it. But
what does the court need to do? I've got lawyers. We've got Colin Gonzalez.
Let the lawyers speak. So I am only saying
we are fortunate to have them. They'll decode this for us.
Is there a law right now available which defines hate speech? I believe no.
Colin Gonzalez, how would you respond to this?
No, one more second.
The definition of hate speech.
Well, Sanket, I'll just one more add.
Okay,
then the second part is that if the hate is something like a remark which somebody does it on a group of people or a group of or a different community, if that is the case, what Ambedkar said about the Islam before he was joining to the Buddha, he was so if that is hate speech, so I think we need to have some more clarification on it. And the hate.
Okay, Colin Gonzalez. Colin Gonzalez. I think we've got the drift of what you want to say. Colin Gonzalez, I think the point that Mr. PKD Nambiar is saying is, how do you define hate? What is the definition of hate? Because
hate speech is found. Hate speech is found in the IPC again and again. Anyone who by words or by action creates enmity between people on the basis of religion, caste, etc., on the basis of religion, has committed a crime for which that person will be punished.
That
What
is
more
called as
clear
inflammatory
expression?
speeches, sir. That is
Using
called as
words to
inflammatory
create
speech. And secondly,
enmity.
in the law,
One by
if
one,
that
Mr.
goes
Nambiar,
People on the
please.
basis of religion.
Mr. Nambiar, one by one.
I don't see why Mr. Nambiar should have any difficulty in understanding.
He's saying that that is an inflammatory speech, not a hate speech. That's the distinction he's trying to make.
There's no
How would you
distinction.
respond?
A hate speech
Definitely
is
there
by
is a
its very
distinction,
nature
sir. You said
an
the
inflammatory
IPC.
speech. A hate speech by its very nature
Is
is an
inflammatory.
inflammatory speech.
Yeah.
You want to create enmity between people of different religions. So you engage in inflammatory speech. There's no difference.
Okay.
So whatever, so can I ask a counter question?
Sure.
Let me, I'm not a lawyer, so let me accept whatever.
You don't
the
need to be a
learned
lawyer, sir, to understand simple English.
No, I'm
You
only
don't need
saying,
a lawyer.
sir, with respect to you, I'm only saying that what Mr. Our great Ambedkar ji said about a particular religion, was it hate?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I know what Anurag Thakur said.
So why
He
you,
said
this is
Goli
where my problem.
I know
Now
what
you, I got it.
Parvesh,
Now,
Verma
this
said
is where I
again and
wanted to
again.
take you, sir.
Why should
This
I
is
go
where
to
wanted to
Ambedkar
take
and what he
This
said
is
about something?
precise. Sir, this is precise.
Why go
precisely
back
I
like
wanted
that?
to take you. This
No,
is
no,
precise.
you know,
distract
one more.
attention.
Colin Gonzalez, one moment. See, when with high level of rhetoric,
Sanket,
what happens is that
Sanket, this is the
one more.
This
I
is
have
the
understood
hypocrite.
what Mr. Nambiar is trying to say. Colin Gonzalez, he's saying that suppose if I'm quoting someone as saying something which was said in the past, and if that is construed as inflammatory or hate speech, then am I guilty of quoting someone?
The answer is simple. You might be in an academic session and you'll discuss. But if you use that speech with the intention of creating enmity between people on the basis of religion, it becomes hate speech.
Okay.
That
Take
politician
your
who
question.
moves
One-
Sure.
Hey,
No, one more. Mr. Nambiar, let me move on also.
to create
One
enmity.
counter question. One counter
You
question.
can have
Sanket,
a-
with your
You can have a
permission.
private
Sanket,
Q&A with Colin Gonzalez.
Sanket,
I have limited
Sanket,
time.
It's in the interest
Professor
of the
Das.
viewer. It's in the interest of the
Sanket,
viewer.
Professor Das, one more.
Is the word kafir?
Sanket,
You must
Sanket, I
you
need
must have
10
been a very
seconds.
curious
Is the
kid
word
in school.
kafir is hate? Is the word
Inquisitive.
kafir is hate? My question is simple. Is the word kafir is hate? It has killed, this particular word has killed millions of people across the globe. And all those people who went to the school have learned a little bit of history, do understand this particular word alone has done it. What all I am saying is, if this is all our hate speeches,
Yeah.
let the Supreme Court should